everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the improvement of food sources. Actually, food is provided by carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral and is very much important to our body purposes. Body's growth, body's health is dependent upon the different kinds of fruits and their restricted diets also. So India is a populous country, so there is necessity of the improvement of food sources, and let's make a start how this food resources is improved. There are different types of processes, activities, steps. First, we have to improve the crop production. So let's get going on the process of the activities of the improvement of crop production, and this is what the first activity is: crop variety management, crop production management, and the last point is crop protection management. What are they? Crop variety management is done to gain the different varieties of crops, and this is done by the process hybridization, and we are crossing two plants belonging to different genera, intergeneric, belonging to different species, interspecies, and belonging to different varieties, intervarietal hybridization process can give us a new variety of crop, new characteristics, and which are susceptible to different adverse climatic conditions, water availability, drought, flood, etc. So the genetic modification, genetic manipulation in the plants can give us a different variety of crop, and this is what about the crop variety management, and this is what we want to get by the crop production improvement. The next point is, the next activity is crop production management, and this is done by some specific steps. These are nutrition management, irrigation, and cropping pattern. So what are they? There are macronutrients, micronutrients, calcium, phosphorus, nitrogen, boron, zinc, germanium, molybdenum, etc. These nutrients are very much important for to get the best yield in the crop production, and this is done by manure and fertilizer. Manure is actually the natural fertilizer, and this is formed by the decomposition procedures of the living organisms. So in this decomposition is done, the formation of compost we can get, and the process is composting. When this composting process is done by the presence of earthworm, the vermicompost process we can get, and there is also a different type, which is green manure, and this actually provides a increase in the fertility, increase in the enrichment of the nutrients in the soil, and which in turn we get the best in the crop production. So we can say that there is an artificial procedure, which is the use of fertilizer, and which gives us rich is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and by these procedures also with high cost, there is high increase in the fertility of the soil and the best yield of the crop production. And there is a disadvantage. So what is that? By the excessive use of fertilizer, excessive use of pesticides and insecticides, by the washing away during the cultivation process, the water pollution can be happen. So then I am going to draw your attention for the next step, which is irrigation. When this is a monsoon, it is completely all right. There is sufficient amount of water supply in the cultivation field. But when there is not sufficient amount of water supply in the cultivation field, the supply of water, this irrigation process is done through the tank, canal, rivers, etc., ponds, okay, etc. So the next step for the crop production management is cropping pattern, and this is what the mixed cropping pattern, intercropping pattern, and crop rotation. Okay, in the mixed cropping pattern, this is what the different type of crops are harvested simultaneously in the same field. But when this simultaneous harvesting is done in a definite pattern, this is intercropping, and one crop is harvested in the same field and second crop is harvested and the next third crop is harvested. So this is alternation of cropping pattern, is crop rotation. Through these cropping pattern procedures, the soil fertility is also increased and it will give us a best yield in the crop production. So this is all about the crop production, but these crops are to be protected from sewages, diseases, pathogens, pests, etc. And this is done by cleaning, drying, sanitization, fumigation, spraying disinfectants, and using fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, etc. And by these preventive measures means we can get the protected management, crop protection management is done by these procedures. Okay, so this is all about the improvement of crop management. Then I will draw attention to the next point, which is animal husbandry, and there are different types of management of livestock, of living organisms, and there are some purpose behind this farming, and these are cattle farming, poultry farming, pisciculture and apiculture. What are they? The main purpose behind cattle farming is to get a huge amount of milk, and this is done by the meat animals. By the use of draught animals, we can have a labor during the farming system, and the main species are Bos indicus and Bos bubalis, and these are the species for cattle farming, and specific type of diets are used here, which are rough feeds, which is rich in fiber, and concentrates, which is rich in proteins. And these cattle farming species are protected from the virus, bacteria, fungi, pathogens, etc. by some preventive measures are cleaning, drying, sanitization, spraying, disinfectants, and vaccination, obviously. The next is poultry farming. The main purpose behind the poultry farming to get the huge amount of eggs and meats. The main breeds are asil, leghorn. The diet is provided to the poultry farming species is rich in protein and adequate fat, and these species are also protected from the virus, bacteria, fungi, etc. pathogens by some preventive measures like cleaning, drying, spraying disinfectants, sanitization and vaccination procedures. The next cultures are pisciculture and apiculture. The pisciculture is what? Is the capture and culture of the fishes. The capture is done in the inland freshwater and marine water. The culture procedures is also done in the inland pisciculture and marine culture system. And this is there is an important polyculture system, composite culture is what? There is use of three types of species, and they are Katla, Rebio rohita and Labio bata, and these are surface feeder, middle feeder and bottom feeder respectively. As they are different types of feeders, this composite pisciculture, this type of polyculture is very much beneficial, but there is one problem. They can breed only in the monsoon season, but this problem is rectified by the use of artificial breeding and the use of artificial hormonal stimulation. And the next point and the last point is apiculture. Apiculture is done for the commercial use of bee wax, bee venom, honey, etc. This is an additional source of income of the farmers, and Apis indica, Apis dorsata, Apis mellifera are different types of species used for the apiculture for the commercial purposes. So this is all about my today's discussion. Improvement of food resource, improvement of crops management, and the last is animal husbandry. I think this whole video is going to be very much useful to your study. Hope you like it. So subscribe the YouTube Knowledgeflame channel. Go to the Google Play Store and download YouTube Knowledgeflame app, and thank you.